Hi, welcome. It's your girl, Olivia. And today we're going to talk about what are some creative ways we can use the Draw It. I know we have a lot of teachers who use a lot of outside resources, but Nearpod is just this power tool that has all of these things right inside. So some of you may be using Cami, but Nearpod has Draw It, and it can perform many of the same functions as the Cami app can, but again, another power tool inside of Nearpod. So let's just jump into it. So here we have the Draw It. I'm going to go click on the activity. You have to go under the tab that says activities, and we're going to go to the Draw It. Now, the Draw It, basically, you can take any worksheet and you can put it in the back, and students have it as a canvas. They can type on it, they can highlight it, they can write it. I've seen language arts teachers provide like a PDF of a document, and then maybe they provide some sentence stems to help students get started in their writing. Or if you're in the younger grades, I've seen teachers just use it to play matching, or students are drawing lines to different places, or they just have the opportunity to do something creative. But beyond that, that to me is like the basics. Let's go a little deeper and look at some of the tools Nearpod has put into the Draw It to make your life even easier. So for example, here I'm teaching a geometry unit, and I'm just going to put in geometry for now. I'm going to see what pops up in their existing library. So Nearpod now allows you to search for Draw Its that have already been created across all of their lessons, and you can easily insert it into your Draw It, and then you can customize it. So here we have a couple things here: coordinate plane, finding the area of circumference. Let's take a look at that. I was a past middle school math teacher, so I always love to throw in math examples. All right, so it's coming up. Ooh, look at this. They already have instructions here provided. They even have a reference image students can look at, and they can look at the formula for the area of a circle. And then here is show your work, because definitely we want to use the Draw It for students to have an opportunity to show their work. But not only are we using the Draw It for students to collaborate on, for students to draw and express themselves, but because the Draw It can be shared with all of your students by clicking a share button, everyone can see people's work, and you can hide their names, and that builds pride and confidence in a person's work, in a student's work, and their worth. And a great way, we'll talk about this in another video on how I use Draw Its to really have deeper conversations and to have more discussions, because the work is already done. The work is already done. So again, we have this set up. Now say I don't like that. I'm just going to go ahead and say, nope, that's not really what I was looking for. I can look for something else. You can upload a background. So say you're running short on time. I love inquiry in the classroom. I'm always looking for images to help students think or just generate questions about. So I might be looking for a picture on energy, and I want to focus on something in the kitchen. And so I'm going to look for some pictures in the kitchen. I see that one. I say save. I'm going to do an inquiry task here off the kitchen. Maybe we're doing something on matter. Maybe we're doing something on different types of materials, different types of energy. I mean, the kitchen is something that they could relate to. And so I always try to look for things that students can relate to. And if they can relate to it, then it's going to allow them to remember the concepts even more so. And again, I would have them circle it. I would have them highlight things. I would have them put why do they think that, or why did they label it. And again, I get to save it. And most of all, you know, one of the reasons I really love to Draw It is because when I get ready to have parent-teacher conferences, I can go back and pull individual student reports, and I can pull out their work. I can show their parent, this is what your child is doing in my class, and I'm so proud of the progress they've made. You know, you show something from the beginning of the year, the middle of a semester to the end of the semester. Those again give rise to more in-depth discussions with teachers, okay? I mean, with parents. Yeah, definitely with parents. Another thing I like to do, let's be a little creative. I love students to tell me how they're feeling. So I'm going to just look for a face. Actually, let me go back. I want to look for a blank face. A blank face. Okay, and I didn't even spell it right, but Google knows. They can read our minds. So I'm just going to get a blank face, and maybe, especially if you have younger kids, they can come in and you could just tell them, hey, draw how you're feeling today. Draw how you are feeling today. And I don't need a reference for that, so I can get rid of that. But again, with the draw it, you can put audio recorder. You can read the directions if that's an accommodation for some students in your classroom. You can add a PDF. Maybe there's a reference document you want them to look on as they meditate and respond to questions or discussions or creating written words. And then you can add a video. Maybe you're giving them instructions. Maybe you created a little tutorial on how to do a certain problem or how to approach a problem. And now they get the opportunity to practice. So you can also use it as a mini lesson, not just a way for them to practice and show what they know, but you can teach them with the video there and then have them have the opportunity to try it out on their own before you start doing another component in the lesson. You can also put a website. So maybe there's a website you would like, hey, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I want you to look for answers to these 3 questions, or I'm going to do a scavenger hunt and see if you can find these 3 items and go. So then they go to the site and then they can come back to the draw it, put in that information, and then we can share how well did everyone do within that time frame. And cool thing is, again, you can add a timer, but when you add a timer, make sure you press the start the timer, because it will not allow the students to get started with the activity until you press the start button. So this is just quick ways, some creative ways to use the draw it feature. I hope you go and you think of even more awesome ways to engage your students and make learning fun again. If you want to know more about creating engaging lessons using Nearpod, you can check my website out at fearlesseducator.net.